Hello, everyone. Welcome to this impromptu late night stream on a Thursday night. Since I wasn't able to go this morning, just going to give a quick intro, and then I got the Forgiven Jerry backstage. He's going to come hang out. We're going to talk a little bit. Like I said, there was no plan for this. I just finally got the power back and the internet going again and everything. Where's Perry? You know what? Because of the storm, it's actually kind of cold out. So check this out. Hold on, I'm gonna do it. All right. That's the way. back to the old days. And I always used to wear this thing when it was cold in Wisconsin. Um, yeah, it was crazy. So, have you filed a lawsuit? Not yet. Um, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw my community post. I got some pictures here. Maybe I could pull them up on the screen and share them with you from what little damage we did get. No property damage to my house, but let's see. Where's my? Um, hmm. Oh, I know where I get it. Where it is. Open Sesame. All right. So first of all, this is the extent of what happened to me. I'll show you right now. Let's see. We'll stop that, and then we'll get the picture up real quick, and then I'll say hello to everybody, and then I'll get to my talk with Forgiven Jerry. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. That is my cactus, or it was my cactus. So that got knocked over. That's the worst damage I got. But this house, I'm going to show you in the next picture, is just like 2 houses away from me. Look at that. I don't know if you could see it that well, but it's pretty. There you go. So they got hit pretty good. So I feel sorry for those people. But we're okay. We're all safe here. And say hello to everybody. No real flooding, but I do have a pond in the backyard that wasn't there yesterday. So hello, Stanley Hayes, David Perillo, Nancy Marcho, Jim Hughes, Abby Pullman, Internet God. Good to see so many of my regulars here in the evening. I love it. The Forgiven Jerry, who I have backstage. Let's see who else we got here today. Lars Micah, David Perlow again. Lars, hello, baby. Hello. Stanley Hayes, Stephanie St. Germain, welcome. Good to see you. Gamer88, hello. Roisin, yes, hello. Cat Woo, hello. FN Lawyer, always good to see you. El Skador, look at this. Andrew Forrest, hello. Ashley, let's see. And I think that covers everybody who's in there right now. And we got a guest today. We got the Forgiven Jerry. I've seen you around, but I've never actually talked to you before. How you doing?
Hey. Oh, you got the hat?
Yep.
Welcome back to the hat. Hey, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, the storm made it kind of cool out here, so actually I could wear it without sweating like an animal.
Oh, are you in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing good. I was just showing some pictures. I lost my cactus out back, but that's all I got. But a few houses away from me, they got the whole side of their house completely ripped off. It
Oh
was bad. But
wow. You know what? I missed the beginning. I was kind of getting ready so I wouldn't have blasted with my mic or something. Or I wouldn't get an echo.
No, that's cool. But yeah, it was like out here this morning. I wanted to just run to the gas station. Every gas station was boarded up, everything was closed. There was one place open, and the line to get in the door was like wrapped around the block because it was the only place open. It was nuts. Some of the gas stations were literally out of gas. The shelves are
Wow. I hope
empty
you're
everywhere.
doing okay, bud.
We're good. We're good here. We're safe. We
Awesome.
were, they had so many warnings and stuff for so long that we were all ready for it.
Well, you look like you're doing fine and dandy.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling great right now.
Yeah,
So how you
no,
doing?
I'm all right. I've been up and down the chats, but I'm kind of tired of texting. So I was like, I gotta get on somewhere where I can talk because
Yeah.
I gotta talk to somebody.
Right. Well, hey, that's cool. That's one of the things I love about doing this is being able to actually connect with the fans in real time. It's fun making videos and posting them, but live streams, there's just that instant, like this, like being able to actually talk to somebody and having the instant
Yeah,
reaction to the chat.
this is fun. I actually I like all the streaming stuff. Well, I mean, I used to do streaming stuff with like the other streaming apps. When YouTube started doing it, I was like, oh man, I'll never be able to get into a stream in YouTube because just too populated, but here we are.
Yeah. Couple things I want to talk about in the chat. First of all, Stephanie asked me if there are any alligators in my pond. No, just ducks. And then Stephanie St. German said the Waffle House must be open, I guess. For anyone who doesn't get that joke, what's up, Just Another Nut? There's this thing actually called the Waffle House Index. It's a legitimate thing. Waffle House has a policy where every location has to have emergency equipment so they can stay open even in the worst weather. So you judge how bad your weather is on whether or not the local Waffle House is open. If they're open, you know you're still okay because they stay open like almost no matter what. Yeah, they have all kinds of generators and stuff. But let's see. Somebody said something about whiskey. Yeah, I was half joking, but I'm seriously going to do it at some point. I just thought it would be funny to do a 21st Amendment audit, which is, the amendment that makes it legal to drink alcohol again. So I'll be like, yeah, I'll just.
Oh, it was illegal?
Drink it. Well, yeah, for a while. But I'll be like, I'll drink on the stream and call it a 21st Amendment audit. I thought that'd be funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just a journalist working on an alcoholic beverage story.
Right. Exactly. Oh man, that's good stuff. Yeah, so anything, it's been a lot of stuff going on the last couple of days, a lot of trials. Blandino was back in court, but it was kind of, huh?
I was like, Blandino, swivel chairs beware.
Yeah. What's up, Hank's Corner? It was weird because usually when Blandino's in court, he gives us some gold, but I didn't really cover it because he didn't really do anything. He just came out.
He got a lawyer.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't have a choice.
I don't think anybody's going to give him a choice now. I honestly don't think he's going to ever have that choice ever again.
No, and always like trying to, vexatious litigant and all that. He's not doing anything. But yeah,
have you seen the new tones? Did you see that video that he had with the post office worker that gives it back to that auditor?
Maybe. Let me see. Tones overthinks it.
I don't know the original video. That's why I didn't recommend the original video. But that post office worker is cool, man.
Let me see. Newbie Frauditor is nothing new and gets owned. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, see, I didn't really see much of what was going on today because, like I said, I didn't even have my internet up for a while. And then it came up. I'm like, oh man, I'll go live, So here, let's watch it together, shall we?
Yeah, it's a good video.
Pull that up. All right. And I know Tones won't mind. He's half the time he's in here. So
Tones is a stand-up dude.
Oh yeah. He's cool. He's real cool. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Tones overthinks it.
You're going to really like this postal worker.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tones Overthinks It, the show where I think too much to make up for the people who don't think at all. Sorry if I've been a bit out of it lately. Things kind of got out of hand. But I'm pleased to report I'm feeling well enough now to get back on track.
You still sound like a dying goose inside the old tractor engine.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, today we're going to be taking our first look at a whole new frauditor.
Here I am, guys, in Linden, Washington. Going to be doing a First Amendment audit at the Linden, Washington post office. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
In this town that there are a lot of pro-police here.
As opposed to what? A town that's anti-police? Only one I can think of that's out there is Stupidville, where all you frauditors come from.
Nice.
So, we'll see how it goes. People doing their packages and stuff.
Yes, because that is totally newsworthy or otherwise any of your business.
Inside of the post office here. Beautiful murals. Typical Hallmark cards and so forth. here. They got lockers.
I love Tone's commentary too. He's great.
Oh,
And the running
he's
gag.
hilarious.
You're no doubt an unemployed loser, and they are hiring. Just saying.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm sorry to say our lives are not as empty or boring as yours, so I doubt we're going to find anything you're about to show us exciting.
I can help you.
I just want to get a stamp.
Just one stamp?
Yeah, what are my choices for different stamps?
As far as just getting a single, can you please not put that in my face?
Well,
I just don't want you film. You can film in the building.
Okay.
It's just personally me. I don't want to be filmed on your phone.
Okay.
So if you could please stop.
No,
You are such a dick.
Yes.
I don't.
You, like I said, you can film anywhere in the building,
Yeah.
but me as a person, no.
I'm not supposed to do it.
Well, just like you can't film anybody without their consent on the street.
Okay. So if I go out there and you're out there, I need your consent.
Sir, I know what you're trying to do. I'm
I'm
asking.
just trying to clarify because
So
there's no miscommunication.
I'm at work.
Yeah.
You can't just come in and film me at work if I'm asking you not to.
Okay.
Just like you can't record somebody's conversation without them knowing.
You know I have a camera on right now,
Yes, because I've seen you filming.
and I'm recording.
Yes, I'm asking you to please take it off of my face. If you can put it down on the stamps, that's fine.
Like down here.
That's fine.
But if up here,
But please not my face.
it's a no.
It's just kind of rude.
Again, this is really nothing new, but what purpose does any of this serve? Seriously, how does this help in any way, shape, or form?
It doesn't.
Doing a really bad thing by filming you.
Sir, look, I know what you're trying to do. You're doing the whole I'm going to film you and you're going to get upset.
I'm not asking you to get upset. I just want to stand.
Beautiful.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay, somebody please call. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know we both know what you're doing. You're trying to get
What
a
am I-
reaction out of me.
I'm just filming. The camera's just a
Right.
passive.
But what's the point?
Oh, I'm liking this postal worker already.
I just want to get a stamp.
Then film the stamps.
Well, this is all part of my transaction.
Is it? You do
Yes.
this everywhere you go?
I'm doing it today
But what? Why?
just because it's interesting. The post office. Is
But it's the
No, it's
stamps that's
not.
interesting, not me.
I'm not harassing anybody.
I've asked you multiple times to not film my face.
Yeah,
Hey,
sorry about
Cat.
that. Apparently, the creeper thought it would make things better to turn his camera on a mother and her child. Funny how he won't answer the question of why he's doing this. Makes you wonder if even he knows.
What were you gonna say there, buddy?
Oh,
thought
I
you were
just said
saying
hi to
something.
Cripple Cat. I just said hi to Cripple Cat.
Oh yeah, what's up, Cripple Cat? Good to see you.
You can film in this building as much as you want. And now he's.
She calling 911?
I don't really like to. I don't really
Well,
want
she
to
probably
disturb this
stated
video
it's not
because
an
she's so
emergency.
awesome.
The
I said I don't really want to disturb this video because she's so awesome.
the postal worker, yeah, she's great. I'm already loving her.
You can call 911 and not
I
say it's not an emergency.
Thought it had to be an emergency.
You can call and say this is not an emergency, but I would like to speak to somebody.
But doesn't it kind of tie up the lines?
Well, I
some-
mean, you're the one that's prompting it.
But you
So
don't
if you
feel-
really were concerned, you wouldn't put yourself in the position.
Boom. Roasted.
Do you feel like you're threatened by
No.
me? No. Okay.
I just feel like you're trying to get a rise out of
So,
me.
so why is she calling 911?
Because,
They have a tough job. That's police officers.
sir, I understand what you're doing, and I know you're
I just want-
patronizing me. It's not going to work. I've worked in this for a long time.
I didn't say you called 911. She's the one that
Right.
dialed the number.
But you know it's because of you, and you knew this was going to happen.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
I smell bullshit.
I just want to get a stamp, and I was wondering
Well,
which
as
kind.
long as you have the phone on my face, I'm not going to help you.
You can't give me service.
Not if you're filming my face.
She's totally calling the police on me.
Oh man, it's like you knew it was going to happen.
No, I didn't know. I can't control other people's actions.
Sir, I can't control your actions, but here we are in the same position.
You know, often the source of my frustration in watching these videos is the poor treatment of postal workers and government employees, especially female ones. But I gotta tell you, it's refreshing to see one not take any of a fraud rap.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you're going to stay here, we can both stay here in the same spot.
Why can't I just get a stamp?
Because I've asked you multiple times, I don't want my face on
But
the
you guys
camera.
have cameras in here, don't you?
We do. Over there.
But are they on me
They're
too?
postal cameras, so I know they're there.
I know, but is that filming me, that camera?
Not, well, maybe.
So do I have a right to say no?
Yeah, you can leave.
But
you won't.
it's a post office and a public post office,
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna be here for a while. I'm sorry, he won't.
She's not selling my stamp because I have a
refusing to
camera.
Not
This is
film
a
my
public.
face.
Do you know anything about the poster 7? It's right there.
I know. He's here.
Because it's our right to
He
film.
wants- he's-
Can I?
He wants to film us.
Oh, there's the police officer. I just want to get a stamp.
Yeah, and I've asked
And
you
I wanted
not-
that stamp right there.
Okay.
So I don't know what the problem is.
I've asked you not to film my face. I said you can film as much as you want in here, but just not my face.
Well, I can film his face, right? Can I film your face, sir?
I would, yeah. I know they went to Sumas the other day and they did the same thing.
I've never been to Sumas
I'm not
before.
saying you. I'm saying
Who's we?
people who post these videos on
Oh, this poor frauditor. He just doesn't realize that people are starting to perhaps catch on to this nonsense.
So you're probably familiar with poster 7 if you watch the video
Yeah,
like
see,
this.
see, I know exactly where you're going.
Sir, you
Let's go.
need to leave. They want you to leave.
No, I'm not going to leave.
Yes.
Sir,
I have a right to be here with my camera. Can I just share something with you really quick? Okay. Can I just share one thing for you guys? Just one thing.
First Amendment.
Can you read this for me, please? Can you read it?
Okay, I'm not going to play your game.
It's not a game. This was made by people who fought for our country.
It's an old shirt.
It's a good shirt. It's a beautiful shirt.
I'm pretty sure this shirt was made by Etsy or a sweatshop in Indonesia. Either way, nobody's impressed.
And it's a shirt that we should all live by. You can pull your camera out. You have a camera on you? How come you don't have your body cam? You guys were issued body cams.
Look, I support all the amendments.
Except this
The
one.
employee here does not want you in this building, and they have the right.
All right, real quick, I want to address this super chat from Miranda. Welcome. Yes, I'm safe. All is well. I saw you earlier in Troll's stream. Good to see you here again tonight. Always love it when you show up. You're one of my biggest supporters. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And we're just checking out this video from Tones. It's some pretty funny stuff. This postal worker is fantastic.
The best.
Tell you to leave.
Well, you need to look right behind you, do a 180. I'm no threat to her, and you need to do a 180 and look at poster 7.
I'm amazed this frauditor is even trying to use poster 7, since time and again it's been proven that all poster 7 does is give the post office the right to refuse you permission to film. But then I'm sure, like all the others, you stop reading before you get to the words, except were prohibited by authorized personnel. And the lovely lady behind the counter who's been absolutely owning your ass is authorized.
Poster 7 gives me right. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. I have every right to be here. I have my purpose to buy a stamp. It's not causing a
You want the
scene.
attention. You want all the little.
I don't want any attention. I'd prefer to come in here
You
and
need
just
to leave. There's other people that.
if you're trespassing me, I'll leave. But it's an illegal
Would
trespass.
you like?
I mean, I don't see another way to get out. I told him he can film as much as he wants, just not me.
Okay, so she knows that it's okay to.
He just had to write my face.
You've already been filmed. Why don't you just show me my stamp and I'll be on my way?
I mean, I could have just given you a stamp and you could have left.
What?
But
You're,
that's not the reason you're here, and we both.
so
know
why don't you
that.
just sell me my stamp and then I'll
No,
be
it's
on
the
my.
principle. You've been rude and disrespectful.
I haven't
to
been
me.
rude. I haven't said anything disrespectful.
I've asked you to leave multiple times. I've asked you to take the camera out of my face multiple times, and you've played
Do you have a
dumb,
supervisor?
patronized me, and yeah.
I'd like to speak to your supervisor before you make a mistake.
You are trespassing. You need to leave.
It's an illegal trespass. I don't abide by illegal orders. You need to turn around and post the
I'm not
7.
gonna play your.
That's crazy. I love this.
Chat.
Yep. This is from D-Bose. Welcome, D-Bose. I see you changed your avatar too. I noticed that earlier. Nice to see you're okay. Is there any damage to your house? No, I lost the cactus out back. That's it. The house right down the street from me got its entire side wall ripped off though. But yeah, I'm good. My family's good. Everything's good. I appreciate. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's always great to see you in here. And let's get back to this because again, I love this postal worker. Now this cop's doing a great job too. This is awesome. I don't follow any law. I don't like it.
Right.
Here you go. Bam.
If you're threatening me with arrest, I will leave.
Has anybody made a frauditor bingo card yet? Because this guy is regurgitating every classic line.
You are trespassing.
Okay, I need
Don't
to.
leave.
I need to be very clear about this.
Citing
And
you for trespass.
If you're threatening me with arrest, I will leave. The ball's in your court.
Okay, if you quit talking, you would hear what I'm telling you. You need to leave. You are trespassing.
Just let this guy go through her. Is your postmaster in?
No,
Who's your postmaster?
it's a Tinder.
Satinder. You better give Satinder a call before you guys make a big mistake. If you're
Is
trespassing me,
that a threat?
well, I'm saying legally you're going to have a problem.
I will not have a problem. I don't own the post office.
The post office
so I
will.
get
Okay,
it.
specifically, I recant what I just said. Specifically, the post office will have a problem. There's a poster 7. All you have to do is go over there and read it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You can call the 1-800.
We're in a lobby area.
You
I
can
have.
call the 1-800 number for the post office.
It's right there. It's right behind the
Understand.
hallmark.
I've worked here longer than you've been in this building.
So you know about poster 7.
Yes, which
Okay.
is why I said you can film whatever you'd like,
Okay,
but I would rather you not film my face while you do it.
and that's your choice.
It is. and
But it's
that's-
not the law. It shouldn't get me thrown out of the post office for that.
Do you not have anything better to do?
Well, I mean, because I don't do exactly what you think I should be doing. You guys are filming me.
Oh,
I have every right to be here. I'm gonna let this guy go if he wants to.
I mean,
Okay, she's not there, and she calls 911 and runs. You've already been on camera. You're not making a whole lot of sense. I'm sorry to say, logically, I'm not deleting my film.
Sorry. that's
So
fine.
I just want to buy my snap, and then I'll be gone.
No, I already told you you can go.
You need to come here, sir, please. I appreciate your time and your
I'm not
service.
gonna do what you tell me to do. That's not how that works.
Well, you're not going to abide by the law? Because right here, it's a federal rules and regulations, right here. You know how to read, I'm assuming, right? I have to be rude to you now
obviously,
because you're
you
being
don't
rude
know
me.
how to read.
Are you stupid? Yeah, you're stupid.
Okay? And that's my right. So come and read poster 7 and you'll see federal law. There's the 2018 DHS memo, March of 2018, that gives me specific rights to film in lobbies and foyers. I have every right to be here.
Duly noted and ignored.
You're making a big mistake. If you threaten me with arrest out of here, I swear that I will contact my
We're
lawyer.
already past that.
Okay, what are we doing then?
Okay,
Just
so
waiting.
just waiting. You want?
We're already past, what does that mean?
You had your opportunity to leave.
Okay, so then what
And
happens?
here you are, just like.
You have to give me a formal trespass in order for me to leave. So unless you formally trespass me, that means there's a sheet of paper that you write it on. And if you
Of
Me
course.
telling you that you are trespassed, that's formally trespassed.
no, that's, you're just asking me.
I love this. They
threatening
don't
to
give
arrest
him
me,
anything. They're not catering to him at all.
You understand.
That's awesome.
Anything that I'm telling you besides.
I understand poster 7 and what my rules are, and I understand what the.
No, you don't understand poster
He's asking
7.
you to Step outside.
No,
It's time to leave.
I don't have to
He's
leave.
telling you that you're trespassed. You have one more.
Why am I being
or you're gonna be
trespassed?
arrested for trespassing.
I'm going to be arrested for trespassing if I don't leave.
The officers told you that you're trespassing.
Are you the-
employees here would like you to leave?
Are you the supervisor?
I'm not the supervisor, no.
Okay, so you're
We need to
threatening.
step out of you're causing a scene here that's ridiculous.
I'm not causing anything. I was just buying a stamp. I have my $10 bill right here. I wanted to buy a stamp. I need to.
And we're past that. She's not gonna sell it to you. She made it very clear. She wants
Okay.
you trespass, so you need to leave.
Why am I being trespassed?
You're gonna need to take that up with them, with the manager at the post office.
But why are you? Why am I? I need to know why I'm being trespassed. She already said because I have a camera.
All right, we're done with this. Watch your video, how many times we've already explained it to you.
God, I wish I hadn't already used that super hot fire clip. Oh, hell, I'll allow it.
You need to read poster 7.
You need to grab your items.
So are you threatening me? I need your supervisor.
You need to grab your stuff and exit the building.
Do you have authority to be on federal? You need a written authority in order
You need to grab your stuff.
This is federal land. This is federal property. You need to.
FN, do they
you have a
even
letter
know
of
the rules? Do
authority
any of them
to
know
say
the
that you
rules?
have authority on this post office?
Listen, that's something that these guys say a lot when they do post office audits. So I want to address that real quick. Okay. So there's this like idea that you have to, oh, K-Far's here. What's up, K-Far?
Yo, K-Far.
When they start throwing out this whole idea that the cops have no jurisdiction in a post office because it's federal property, and so if that philosophy is true, if that idea is actually true, so what happens if I go in there and I start shooting people in the post office? They have to call Washington, D.C. and get the feds to come down, and I have to sit there with my gun and wait 6 hours for them to show up. Like, that's ridiculous. Of course, the cops are able to do things in the post office if they get called to the post office. That's an insane argument to me.
Yeah,
Right?
it's it's all circular with them, man. It's all circular and move the goalposts. Circular and move the goalposts. It's an exercise.
Exactly. Oh boy. Anyway, let's look at some more of this idiot because this guy's fun, or at least the way the
How's
people
it
are
going,
handling him is
K-Far?
fun. Yes.
Looks like somebody's been watching Long Island audits. And I hate to break it to you, but that post office you're standing in was built in 1940, which places it under the jurisdiction of the local police department.
Are you going to arrest me? Because if you're going to arrest me, I'll leave.
We already told you that we were going to arrest you for trespassing. So grab your stuff. This is your last one.
You're going to arrest me for trespassing. What's your name and badge number?
This is your last opportunity to get
What's your name and badge number?
Out of the building. Go.
So you don't believe in the First Amendment?
Yeah, that's what they say.
You guys are in a lot of trouble.
Keep going. Yep.
Nobody cares. Nobody. And you need to shut up.
Thank you.
Absolutely a lot of trouble.
Going.
I'm off the interior. No,
the property.
No,
the property.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not giving you ID. Forget it. It's not happening. We have a First Amendment in this country, guys, and they're taking it away from us. There's a poster 7 in there. You guys need to go and read it. This is something that a lot of
Do you see how they're being like amazing at just?
It's because you came in there.
Okay.
They should care.
You came in here and caused a scene for
I didn't cause a
absolutely
scene.
No reason.
I came in there to buy a stamp. It's all been
People come here
recorded.
and do their business
I want your
for just
supervisor. I'm requesting your supervisor right now.
I'm requesting your ID.
You're not going to get it. It's my Fourth Amendment right.
Well, you might want to get a t-shirt made for that one. And while you're at it, learn the meaning of the word unreasonable.
Unless you're arresting.
If you go back in there, you will be arrested for trespassing. That's
Okay, I need a written formal.
We're not giving you a written one. We don't do.
I want your
trespass
supervisor.
laws.
I want your supervisor.
Okay, go to the police department.
What's your badge number?
96. Go to the
Okay,
police
and your
department.
name, sir?
This should all be like a
Your name?
training video right here. It should be like a training video. It's so perfect. Everybody just does the right thing with this guy. They don't give him an inch. They push him out. They're not playing his game. It's like, it's everything that you would want how people to act with these guys. It's perfect.
Yeah. I love the way that first of all, the employee at the post office handled it. I love the way the cops are handling this guy. Yes, this absolutely would be way better training for them than having Long Island Audit give a speech, which was disgusting to watch. But this would be
Yeah,
great.
dude, that was terrible. Watching them behind that podium was like, what?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that idiot. Oh, well.
Oh, you have to point you can't articulate? I thought you were so good with words inside.
Okay. Are you going to listen to any of us or not?
I'm trying to listen to your name, but you're not articulating anything worth
Go to the
listening
police
to.
department and talk to the supervisor.
Who's your supervisor?
Chief Taylor.
Chief Taylor? Okay. And you don't have any sergeant? You're not a sergeant. You guys are just...
We're officers.
Officers, yeah. Who's your sergeant? You don't have a sergeant?
We have a sergeant. He's not working right now. There is a chief on duty right now.
Yeah, but who's your sergeant?
We're not going to answer these questions. You've already been told to leave. If you do not get off these steps and off the property that they've asked you to leave, you will be arrested.
And that's the bottom line. Why? Because Stone Cold said so.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Thank you.
Be prepared for a lawsuit. What you just said puts you in legal liability of violating my First Amendment right.
We do not care.
Perfect. Not you in particular. Well, it could be you particularly too. Could be your department and you. So here we go, guys.
Thank you.
I thought these guys would be cool. They come out. Is it okay to film here? Is that okay with you?
I thought they were going to be cool.
Public property.
I thought you guys are cool.
They were actually very cool.
There.
I would have tased his ass twice already.
Well, that was certainly mature. But what do you expect? He's on the walk of shame. You got to expect the childish temper tantrum.
You don't have authority. You don't have authority, sir. You're
You
a
don't have a
tyrant.
brain.
How could you do your job? with what you do.
He should have finished that. How can you do your job correctly?
Yeah.
You threatened me with arrest, you tyrant.
No Sherlock.
Freaking tyrant. I'm catching my lawyer, Dale Carson. He's going to be speaking with you guys. Look at these tyrants, guys. I was civil. I was polite. All I did was say nice things to these freaking tyrants.
What an idiot.
You're shameful. Wasn't even...
What a shame.
You guys are shameful people. You don't respect the First Amendment constitutionally right of filming in public places.
I think he's reached the end of his script. He's starting to get repetitive. The video's almost over. I think we could endure watching his last little meltdown.
This is only the beginning, man.
Nice.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Don't approach me.
I'll do anything I want. So I won't do it because YouTube takes those words out. But you know what I mean.
For someone so devoted to the First Amendment and free speech, you seem to have no problem with self-censorship in order to adhere to YouTube's monetization policies.
Now that is irony.
Nice.
Or what's going to happen? You're going to arrest me for filming? Good, then leave. Get the heck out of here.
Behind me like that.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
You need to move. So
Go.
I'll hit you with my car.
You're going to hit me with my car because I'm standing here? You know what?
Just go.
No.
I need you to step
No.
my car.
And the answer is no.
You know what else is ironic? If these police officers really were tyrants, he'd have already been tased in the testicles twice.
Exactly.
Get out of here before you make a bigger
Do not
mistake.
come behind me.
Get out of here before you make... See, read the shirt, guys. It's because I got a camera. You ashamed of yourself? You're telling that many lies? You punk. Get out of here.
It's not
We don't
because you
need
have a
you in
camera,
America.
it's because you're an
I
asshat.
was 4 years in the military for these kind of clowns. Get, move, scat. Shame on you. Because of a camera.
No, because of
And
the
I
idiot
spent 4
holding the
years in the military
camera.
for this. Read my shirt. He should leave me alone. I was minding my own business. They illegally trespassed me from the post office. You're gonna find out what the situation is before you open your mouth. But get out of here.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another idiot getting owned and then throwing a temper tantrum in order to compensate for the whole walk of shame he had to do. And while it was indeed superb to watch the postal worker and the police officer not tolerate any of his garbage, I'm just going to say it. This guy was underwhelming. He was really quite pathetic, to be honest. His channel's only a few months old, and he's obviously late in the game and has nothing new to offer, just quotes from the same old script we've heard time and again, and that's probably why no one was willing to tolerate it. Frauditors are just becoming too predictable with their bog-standard piss-poor attitude, their entitled sense of self-importance, ignorance of the law, and a complete lack of understanding of Poster 7, getting told off by the employees, getting told off by the police, acting like a child, has a tantrum, and just ends in another walk of shame.
I thought there was something wrong with his mic, and then I
trying to get in
realized.
on this now when it's become stale.
You
Just
were
another
on mute?
pathetic
No way.
fad, and I said I'm keeping it. And again, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what you see here and you want to see me look at even more stupid people in the future, feel free
Didn't
to
I tell you that was an awesome video?
That was great. Yeah, no, what I was saying was I thought there was something wrong with his mic, and then I realized it was the Fezzington sound effect because Fezzington was coming in.
That thanks, Tones. That I mean, I love that video, and I love that video, even if he didn't have all that commentary, but just because of that post office worker and the cops and how they handled that perfectly. That was a very refreshing video.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, it's amazing. Like some people were saying in the chat, maybe it's because they're starting to learn and understand what these guys are doing and how to handle it. That's one of the reasons why I always say, like, I would love to run into one of these guys in the wild because I know their script, especially the new guys, better than they do. So, like, I'd be able to flip everything on them, and it'd be so much fun. Get real close to them. Hey, you're in my personal space. So, is that a felony or a misdemeanor? Ha ha ha. That kind of a thing. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a long time ago already. Now it's almost been 2 years since I saw SGV out in the wild, and I didn't know nothing about what he was doing at the time. So I just remember like his abrasiveness and the way he talked to the cops was so foreign to me. I couldn't. I didn't know how, like, it's weird because it's like I knew there was something wrong about it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't find what I wanted to say. Now I think I could confront him like easy. I mean, I would confront him because he was a jerk back in the days, anyways. But
Right.
now I think I have the vocabulary and the verbal, like
The
acumen
ammunition. Yeah.
to go after him. Yeah, because he was so abrasive that I couldn't believe somebody would talk like that to. And especially to workers who had nothing to do with what he was talking about,
Yes. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I mean, I don't like what these guys do to begin with, but now that they're doing it more and more and more to private citizens and people that are just, minding their own business, working or walking down the street, it's like, come on. Like, you're not educating people about the First Amendment. You're educating people that they hate you guys.
Yeah, and you learn quickly that it's not about the camera, because it's like, yeah, like you're filming or whatever. Nobody's gonna stop you from filming, and nobody really. It's the way you film. It's what you're filming. You say you're there to film the workers or whatever, or the cops, or the thing is that you never film people that are actually doing something to you. You're doing it to them.
Right.
It's like, come on. Do you think we don't have common sense? The thing that annoys me more than anything, it's not just their behavior, is the people backing them up. I think that's the part that really gets to me the most, is like, how can you have fans? How can you have people that watch this with any kind of, pleasure? I don't get any pleasure from watching that,
No, it's the fans drive me nuts too, and especially because they always come in my comment section, and talk trash and whatever. And it's like, look, by the way, hello Yamaha biker, good to see you. Ironton Auditors in the house, good to see you, buddy.
She's right about that too.
Yeah. It seems more creepy when women are involved. Hey, Miranda's back. Hello, welcome back. Always good to see you. So yeah, that whole idea of like the false narrative they build, the excuses that they use for doing what they're doing and harassing random people, and it never adds up. None of their arguments stack up. Like you said earlier, they talk in circles, they move the goalposts, and someone like SGV, you brought him up. That dude has gotten to the point now where when I watch him, quote unquote, audit, when I watch him fraud it, right, all I see is a former gangbanger who found a way to intimidate people, but he hides behind the camera so that he doesn't go to jail. He just pepper sprays random citizens. He just walks around giving people a hard time, and like, even like with this post office situation we just saw, right? You walk in there, you film the lady, and she says, I personally don't like being filmed, and specifically tells him that. And immediately he turns it into, well, it's legal for me to film, so you can't force me to. Nobody's forcing anything. She asked you as a human being, like a thing with a soul, to actually film her. Like, she's not trying to make a federal case out of it. You are.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is that, obviously they're always trying to create confrontation. They always want the confrontation, right? And they always want to start something or get into something. And it's like if you want confrontation, if you want that, if that's what you're looking for, go to places where you're gonna find it, like where you don't have to make it. You know, like I get they're such cowards because they do this to people who are unsuspecting. They're people who really don't want to be rude. They'll be rude, but they don't want to be rude. You'll always see a post office worker or somebody who's working at wherever they go, whether it be a police station. They're trying to give them courtesy and try to treat them with respect, and they never give it.
Nope.
But I say, you know what? You really want confrontation? Go to South Central LA. Go to where the real issues are. Go try to film in those areas where there's gangbangers, where there's people, where there's shootings, where there's terrible crimes. Film something over there. Make a real story. Do something that's gonna be actually helpful. Bring real news. They'll never do it. Why? Because they're cowards. They're cowards. They hide behind the camera, and they hide behind our rights. They weaponize the First Amendment, and they weaponize these things that we do to keep our society respectful, and they use it against us.
Just a second. I want to say goodbye to Miranda. I got another super chat. Thank you again very much. Always great to see you. I'm going to try to be back again tomorrow morning too. So have a good night. Sleep well. And I'm glad you guys are feeling better. And I'm definitely going to stay safe too. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. She's one of my biggest supporters. So I always got to.
Oh yeah, I see her all the time in your chat. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool that you have such loyal people.
Yeah, and even just in general, looking at this chat right now, like, because I do my morning show every day, but I wasn't necessarily expecting to see so many of my regulars here tonight. So that's great. I love it. So go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, no, I was. They always see. This is the thing, is that like this is why I'm trying to make videos as it is right now. That I get into these rants because they do this to me. Like every time I think of a frauditor, every time I think of a soft sit, they get me into these rants because like I've had a lot of experience with being on both sides of the law. Like my story is I've been on the other side, and I've been on this side, with people who respect and stuff like that, and I know what they're about. But at the same time, it's like when you get to understand how real law enforcement, real, people who do these jobs not because they want to have authority, like they say, or not because they want to be tyrants, but they do it because they start off with the idea that they want to help their community. They actually have good hearts. You know what I mean? And you'll find that in most of the officers and most of the people who are in these fields.
Yeah.
It's just wild to me. The type of disrespect that is unearned, and then the egotistical way that these guys talk. You don't know the law. I'm gonna educate you and stuff like that. I just simply can't stand it. And they only feel like they can get away with it because it's easy to hate an officer. It's easy to hate somebody who's in charge of you, right? But you wouldn't do that to a nurse. You wouldn't do that to you know what I mean? You wouldn't do that to a paramedic or to a firefighter. You know what I mean? It's so easy because they're the ones who lock me up, or they're the ones who don't let me do what I want to do. It's like, grow up. Grow up,
Yes. And that's the thing. That's, if you don't like the laws, if you don't agree with them, there are proper ways to go about dealing with that. But this isn't the way, and like you say, with the unearned disrespect, I cannot say that there's never been a video where one of these guys actually caught a bad cop. But out of the thousands and thousands of videos I've seen, 99.999% of them, they don't go after actual tyrants, because if they did, they wouldn't be filming it and posting it. They'd be getting their ass beat in the corner. And that footage would never see the light of the day because that phone would be smashed. You know what I mean? Like, if it was actually a tyrannical cop, a bad cop, I never see them exposing actual bad cops. Just the fact that the cop asked him for an ID, that made him a bad cop. Just the fact that they didn't specifically go out of their way to bend over backwards to kiss your butts and lick your boots when you ask them for their name and badge number, they're a bad cop.
Yeah.
And they treat everyone who works for the government like they're their personal slaves. And anyone who works for a regular company is a slave to the company they work for. But we're all just slaves, and they're the only free people because they have a camera. Well, guess what? I got one too. So what? I don't go around bothering people.
No, and it's a simple matter of respect that it's just like, come on, man, like it's just if someone tells you not to film, it's not for you to be like, okay, now I'm gonna film you because you said I'm not gonna film. It's like, come on, dude, like this is simple elementary stuff, like don't do that to people. You don't want it done to you. Don't do it to people. Leave people alone. I'm not against filming cops. Like if you want to film a cop, film a cop. If a cop stops you, film him at your stop. But don't go to somebody else's stop and film him. This is the stuff that gets me. It's like, oh, look at what's going on over here, and they create this conflict. And somebody who just had to stop, who probably was just gonna get a ticket and go, get out of the situation because they're probably responsible adults and just had a small, infraction or whatever. But these guys come in and make it a big old deal, and then make the situation worse. And it just gets so like, it's a frustrating thing, because I've done both sides. I've been in the bad side of the law, and I've also been on the good side. I've also been a security guard, so I kind of understand. One thing that I understand a lot, that whenever I see a cop and I see their faces, I'm all like, I can see the frustration in this guy's face, because I've been there where, you're dealing with a person and they're getting on your nerves because you're giving them chance after chance after chance to handle a situation that they should just, like I used to work at a hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would tell me like, oh, there's a noise complaint. Go find out what's going on. And I would go and I would go knock on the door, and I would tell the people, hey, you guys are a little loud. Could you do me a favor and turn down your music? You can't have a party, so I'm gonna ignore the million people you have in your room. But just turn the music down. Try to be a little bit more quiet. There's other guests, and they don't appreciate the noise.
Right.
Okay, they'll say yeah. They'll turn. 5 minutes later, I'll get a call. Hey, noise complaint, same room. And I'll go over there and I'll tell them, hey guys, come on. I already told you once. Please don't make me break up your party. I don't want to do that. Just lower your music. Come on. Okay. 30 minutes later. Hey, same room. Now you're gonna have to get them out. And if you don't get them out, we're gonna start crapping on you because you're not getting them out. So now I have to go over there and be like, all right, guys, party over. Everybody get out of the room. And what do they do when they're coming out? Oh, rent a cop. Oh, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? And it's like it's like you can't win, and that's not just one night. That's like every Saturday for the whole year,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I can see and I can understand that frustration when a cop is dealing with people, because they see people like them, and they see people who are nasty, and they see it more than we see in these videos. We might see these videos often, but they live it. And there's videos that we won't ever see because there's nobody recording it, and they get the nastiness, they get all of that stuff. And people will only see when the cop reacts, when he's already ready to blow up, or when he does blow up, or when he does something that then people can say, ooh, look at that cop, ooh, look at how he's acting and stuff, And it's like, you don't know, you don't know the crap that he's gone through, I think we're a little too hard on the cops and not hard enough on the people who create the policies that put the cops in the situations that they're in. Just my opinion.
No, I agree with that. Couple things I wanted to say. First, hello, J.H. Ostruck. Good to see you in here. Crippled Cat, I don't remember if I said hello to you earlier. And I wanted to say, too, because like you were talking about cop watchers, we actually have Ironton Auditor in the chat right now. And if you don't know who he is, you should check him out, because he actually does it. Yeah, he does it the way it ought to be done. He's not causing a scene or making himself the story or this or that. But I don't disagree with the idea in general of like they always say, right? Their big argument. Well, I have the right to film the cops if I want to. What if they do something? Well, there'll be evidence. What if something happens? Blah, blah, blah. I get all that. And I don't necessarily have a problem with any of that. My problem is the way these idiots do it and go out of their way to push the negative reaction. He doesn't do that. And guess what? He doesn't get negative reactions. What an amazing coincidence that when he doesn't bait them, he doesn't get that. Wow.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy to me. And Iron Auditor, yeah, his stuff is real good. I actually he does what all the other frauditors do to me I mean he does the opposite, I should say. He keeps me quiet. I never, when I've seen all of his videos, and I'm sorry, Auditor, I'm gonna start putting more comments on your stuff, but every time I watch his videos, I have nothing to say because I'm all like, that was good.
Yeah, right. Good job. There's nothing for me to yell at you about.
Yeah, and it's like I can't, I can't argue with anything that he does because he does everything the correct way. And you know what? I would actually give him the responsibility of being a cop watcher. I don't even want to call him an auditor. Like I wish he wouldn't call himself that, because I would say that he's a responsible guy putting an eye on the cops, and that's fine. And we should have that. We should have concerned citizens seeing a cop, as far as like what they're doing and stuff like that. I don't mind that at all. But the thing is that these frauditors ain't doing that. They're not doing that. They're going to post office. They're going to. You got I'm an asshole press going to jewelry stores and stuff like that, and standing in front of jewelry stores. Come on, man. You're not helping nobody out. You're not doing anything but causing conflict and trying to help out your YouTube channel. And the BS that comes out of his mouth just makes me want to choke him.
Oh, so many. There's so many of them. Oh man, and he's one of the big ones for that. And McKenzie Press drives me nuts. Long Island Audit. I mean, so many of them. I mean, people like SGV News and NC Tyrant Hunter and guys like that. They're Silence Boy, Casey Camera Boy. They're so bottom of the barrel. Like, I don't even have to mention them. You know that they're even worse than the bad ones. Like, they're garbage.
Yeah, Silent Boy is like, he's really edging the line, and I remember I was talking to a reform frauditor not too long ago about him, and I was telling him, like, I have this feeling that he's gonna get it not from a cop, he's gonna get it from the wrong person, and I don't think we're gonna see that video. We're just gonna hear about it because he's really pushing the line. I've seen him because I live in the greater LA area, so I've seen him in areas where I'm thinking, like, you shouldn't do that there, guy. Like, you're in the wrong area doing that. And luckily he hasn't run into the wrong person, but he's really edging that line. Like, and the thing is that I don't know if he thinks that maybe because he thinks he knows the law, that if he calls the cops, they're gonna protect him or something like that. But I honestly think that one day it's gonna happen where we're not gonna hear. We're not gonna see it on a video. We're just gonna hear about it, and I really do have an actual fear for him getting hurt. And I get it; they're assholes. I don't want anybody to think that I'm going soft on them, but I don't wish harm on people. I really don't. I mean, it's funny when you see people get tased; it's their fault for doing it. Yeah, but I really don't want them to be like to get beat up. You know what I mean? It's just the way I feel. I get upset with them and I want to choke them and I say things like that, but I really don't want to see them hurt.
Well, that's the thing too, like, because like you say, I'm not necessarily looking for, I don't like violence, right? I remember when News Now Omaha used to keep pulling that thing where he'd tried to purposely make the cops think he was reaching for a gun. And I was legitimately concerned, like, dude, being an idiot is one thing, auditing is another thing, but that looks like suicide by cop. Like, you're just trying to get shot. That's no good. You shouldn't do that,
Oh yeah.
But Ironton kind of just he made a comment. He said, no real harm, just a smack or two. And this is like, it's whenever I talk to my kids about pro wrestling and football, I always say these two things. I always say, like, if you're doing it right, you're going to hurt the other guy, but you're not going to injure him. There's a huge difference between getting hurt and getting injured. I don't want anybody to get injured ever. But if these guys acting like a douchebag and getting in your face and arguing with you, calling you names, and you smack them around a little bit, you know what? I can handle that. You know, if they got it coming, they got it coming. But yeah,
Right.
that doesn't mean that I think terrible things should happen to these guys, or they should die, or get shot, or get ran over, or even get violence on them. But when it happens, you can see what led up to it, and it's like, yep, I get it. You know, I
Right,
understand
and-
why this dude jumped you.
Yeah, and if it, like I said, I don't wish it. If it happens, it happens. That's just the way of the world, right?
Right.
But real quick for Christopher O'Connor, I know what you mean. I seen that video with the funeral and stuff like that. But you got to understand something about LA. LA is Tinseltown, and it could be, tough town too. It's like it's very weird in that way where there's one side that is very soft and very but there's another side that's very tough and evil, and and I'll tell you this, like I said, it won't happen on camera because the people who I'm telling you that will end up doing something to him, and like I said, it's not gonna be. They're smarter than that. They're not gonna do it on camera. It's not gonna happen like that. They're not gonna go have a debate with him whether he should have the camera on or off. What's gonna happen is that he's gonna be filming the sister or the aunt or the mom to one of these guys, and they're gonna let him do it. They'll let him even go as far as to post the video, but then they'll walk in. They'll wait till he gets to his house. They'll wait till he puts the camera down. And that's and the thing is that these people do exist, and I've seen people who don't do bad things like him get worse happening because they're witnesses to to a crime and stuff like that, and that's what I mean. He's very much towing the line, and I do have a fear that it's gonna be worse than just a smack or a beatdown or something like that. But that is just my opinion on it. And that's just my opinion with Beta Boy. That's it. It's just him, and that nobody else gives me that fear.
Yeah. Well, again, a big portion of that I think is because he is so heavy into doing just regular people. Even the ones that are like Amagansett Press and NC Tyrant, these guys that do private businesses, the people are still at work. They still don't necessarily want to cross that line and go hands-on. But like when Silence Boy was with Casey Camera Boy that time and Casey Camera Boy got jumped, those were employees of the place. So even them, there's a line that if you cross it, they're not going to care anymore. They use the camera as like a shield. Well, I know you're not going to beat me up if you're on film. So that's why they always make sure they're filming and they got their pepper spray ready to protect themselves. But yeah, I actually saw a video. I forget who it was, but I saw a video of a guy who was auditing. What's it called when they help people by giving them food, or Meals on Wheels. This guy was auditing Meals on Wheels, and one of the patrons pulled a knife on him, and it's like, if you can push someone to that point where they're going to pull a knife on you, it's only a matter of time before someone actually uses it.
Right.
And again,
right.
We're not wishing for that. We're not calling for that. But it's like, how do you people not see that what you're doing is pushing all the wrong buttons on purpose? I don't know. I think they just want that lawsuit money and they don't care what the consequences are for getting it.
Yeah, it's I've the thing is that, like I said, I think that because I think some of them are just delusional as far as the law goes, but I think some of them just, that's why they pick certain things. I honestly feel like Beta Boy is delusional about the law, and he thinks that he's gonna be protected. That's why he does what he does. But guys like Auditing America, he's a coward. He is a straight up coward. and he's only gonna pick places where he thinks that he's gonna be able to, say what he wants and not get, pushed over. Because anytime he's dealt with any kind of adversity, you see him fold. He folds. He's such a
Oh
coward.
yeah. Oh yeah. I did a video once where there's this cop that he's talking to, and the cop's like, he's like, dude, you're being a tyrant. You get away from me. Get away from me. You're crazy. You're crazy. And he's just going off and off and off on this cop. But the whole time the cop's walking towards him saying, what do you mean? I don't understand. I'm not touching you. I'm just walking. You're filming. I'm walking. What's the big deal? But what's actually happening is as this is going on, he's walking Anselmo out of the building.
Right. Yeah.
And then once they get
one.
out, yeah. And it's like, dude, do you realize that you are such an idiot? You didn't even notice that he totally got you to leave the building. And now you're like, but, I just got another super chat from Debo's. Take the camera away, and none of these guys have the balls to do it without a camera. Thank you very much for the $5 Canadian. I appreciate that. And yes, that's the whole point. The camera is the shield, right?
And you know what? I just want to address Debo real quick, because Debo's Nation and guys like Mark Stout, I love that these guys are making videos, because opposite to what I think frauditors are, I think these guys are not the cowards, and these guys are willing to face them. And that's why I love these guys making videos, because not only are they doing it in an intellectual way, but I know they have no problems getting in their faces if they need to. And that's the tough guy acts that these guys put on. Debo's Nation and Mark Stout are real tough guys, and they don't need to prove anything to anybody. But I'll say it for them, because I know for a fact that they don't have no problem getting into people's faces, and they could be that tough guy, but they don't need to prove it. And that's what real tough guys do. They don't prove nothing to nobody. You come and find out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, and it's so crazy, and it also is nuts to me how they get so upset when other people film them, or if somebody touches their camera, and they're immediately crying and it's assault and I want to press charges and blah, 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 blah. But what really drives me nuts is when they start calling someone a pussy or a coward, but then if that person actually does something, they're like, do something, do something. So if they actually do something, then, oh no, I'm going to sue you, touched me, oh my God. They start freaking out and crying. It's like, what? Duh, like you keep pushing people that route, eventually someone's going to go that way. I don't know, man. It's nuts. They're nuts. They're all nuts. Anyway, so have any of you been watching this Daryl Brooks trial? Brooks, the guy who went through the Christmas parade and mowed over a bunch of people with his car. Do you know about that?
I think I heard about it. Where's I don't know. Has there been live streams on his court case, or?
Yeah, he's on trial right now. It's been going on for a while now. And I wanted to play a little bit of a clip from today because it was in Waukesha, Wisconsin. There was a parade. It was a Christmas parade, and he just drove up on the sidewalk and just started mowing people down with his car.
Yeah, I think I heard of it. Wow, wow. It always amazes me when you hear like a trial, right? It's like there has to be a trial for that.
Yeah, right. It's like they should just lock him on the electric chair for 30 days after doing something like that. But anyway, I wanted to show a little bit of it because this isn't even like the trial at this point. It's the pre-trial hearing that they've been covering, but his rhetoric comes right out of the Sovereign Citizen playbook.
Oh no, don't tell me it's that guy.
Yeah.
The guy that Artie's been covering?
Yes. Oh man,
he's the one who did that?
Yeah. He's talking about well, I never said I understand because I don't stand under your rule. It's like that's Sovereign Citizen stuff, man.
Oh, that guy needs to get out of town with that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I first of all, I didn't know that he was the one who did that. Like, now I hate him even more because I already hated him because the reason why I hate people like Blandino, people like, all these substance who go pro se and think they, like the Moors who go into court talking about, like, you don't have authority over me and this and that. Those people upset me for the reason that not only do they think they know everything, but they have the gall to disrespect people who went to school, worked hard, did what they had to do to become lawyers, judges, even the clerks in the buildings. You know what I mean? You don't know anything, and you don't deserve this attitude that you're giving them. It absolutely enrages me to know that there's people who have that kind of attitude. I mean, I can understand, if a judge is at a mechanic shop and you're the mechanic and you need to school them on something. I completely understand that. But people who go into court cases and court and they absolutely disrespect all the people that are there with all their education. It's like, oh my, I really can't stand that, because I'm all about earning what you what you make. If you're a judge, you earn that title and you deserve to be called a judge. You deserve to be called your honor, just like you deserve to be called a doctor if you went to medical school and you became a doctor. And that type of level of disrespect is something that I could never understand, and I could never, I hate people that are like that, and that's why I absolutely sympathize with Artie when I see him, lose it when it comes to these people. Right. So I already didn't like him for that reason, but now that you tell me that he's the one who mowed down all those people, wow,
with his car, yeah,
what a worthless POS. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I remember because I was in Wisconsin when it happened, so it was all over the news, and I was just like, "What's going on?" And we had just had all the, was it the George Floyd riots or what? Oh, what that kid was out there shooting people in downtown Kenosha. So that just happened, and then that Christmas, this guy's killing people. It's like it seemed like the world was ending. It was just nuts. But yeah, you brought up a couple of good points there too, like. There was this one guy, I forget his name, another one, if I did the research, I'd find out, but whatever. He likes to, when he's in court, and this is kind of a standard sovereign citizen thing to an extent, is telling the judge, well, I need to see your oath of office before I'll know that you're actually a judge. And it's kind of the same thing as like the demanding an ID, name and badge number from a cop, right? And what it is like, they like to say, well, you have to show it. There's laws that say you have to say it. There's policies that say you have to. First of all, the whole name and ID thing for cops is there because there are people who impersonate police officers. So they have to be able to identify themselves as a police officer so you know they're legit. Right. But when 5 cops come up in 3 different squad cars and they're cops, especially if you're auditing a police station. Right? They're definitely police. Well, it's the same thing with the judges. Like, well, you have to prove to me that you took an oath of office. Okay, wait a minute. To get into the courthouse, you have to go through the metal detector. You have to go through security. You have to go up the stairs. They got cops everywhere. If you're not a judge, how are you going to get on the bench in a judge robe at all if you didn't take the oath? Like he wouldn't be sitting there. So it's like when they ask him for this, it's like the judges look at him like, what the hell are you talking about? Like the fact that I'm here, it should be more than enough because I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Right. And all you got to do is see that video with the Moors that tried to take a seat on a judge's. You seen that, right? Where the judges left, and then they go sit down, and you just see how they get tackled and because that's all you got to see just to know that that's not something you want to do, and that's not something anybody can just do. Right. So like I said, it just absolutely amazes me, the level of disrespect those people will show just because they think they know what they know. But it's like, look, man, I don't care what website you went to. I don't care what YouTube sovereign citizen you saw and everything. Those people didn't become judges or lawyers overnight. They didn't do it in 2-3 months. It was like a 6 to 7 year education. Mm-hmm. And that was before they even got to practice what they were doing. So you're not only are you lazy, not only are you, not capable of doing what these people do, but you're putting them down like if, you know, like if you did anything, like if anybody owes you anything, it just irks me to no end. That's the one thing that I really stand against is that level of disrespect. I feel like people who just like hey, a frauditor's earned his name. Why? Because he's a fraud. They
Yeah.
say don't call us frauditors. No, you're a fraud and you earned that. You earned that name. Guess
Absolutely.
what? The judge earned that title because they worked for it. They didn't do what you did. They didn't go and just start up a YouTube channel and start, self-loving themselves. No, they went to court. They did all the hard work. They did everything they had to do, and I respect them for that. And I'm always gonna respect people in professions that are hard to get into because not only have they taken on a level of service that involves you giving up so much of your life, but they did it because they wanted to. And
Yes.
that they deserve all the respect. That's why when there's a bad one, shun them, throw them away, hurt them, do whatever you got to do when they do the bad thing, because that's like that same level of respect, they have to keep it up. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing, and that always is what it comes down to. And to me, in a lot of ways, I see it as being like a different form of racism. Like instead of hating them because of the color of their skin, you're hating them because they have a badge on. But it doesn't matter if they're a good person or not. Just the fact that they're an officer, automatically they're beneath you, right? If they work in a public capacity, they're beneath you. If they're the secretary at a desk in the city hall, they're beneath you. Everyone's beneath these guys because public servant means that you have to do what I say when I say it. Especially, and I see this so much, they'll go into a public building and say like, yeah, I came to request a FOIA or I came to request a complaint or whatever it is. And they'll say, oh, yeah, sure. We don't have those in this office, but you can go blah, blah, blah. Instead of saying, oh, okay. And then going back to where they've been instructed to go, it becomes a federal case. No, you need those papers here and you need to give them to me on demand and produce them immediately, no matter what. You better do it. And you better come on, my job, do your job. My job isn't to kiss your butt. You asked me where the forms are. I told you where they are. Now shut the hell up and go get your forms.
yeah.
Right?
That's right, man. That's right. I just can't stand it. But yeah, dude, I'm shocked that this guy was the guy that did it. And you know what? I'm glad the judge let him go pro se, pro per, pro idiot, whatever he wants to call it. I'm glad that the judge gave it to him because I want him to burn. And I hope that he messes it all up with his conduct. Objection. I disagree. Dude, shut up. What do you think? You think that people and then the other thing that was making me laugh is that he was talking about he wanted his people to be there or whatever, and he was like, oh, how many rows do I get and stuff like that. It's not a commencement speech. This isn't graduation. You're going to trial for running over people like an animal. I'll be surprised if anybody wants to go see you. I don't even know why anybody would want to.
Right. Well, people want to watch the trial, of course, because so many people were hurt and it was all over the news. It's a big public interest story, But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like nobody's going there to support him. And it's crazy because I remember when it happened. There's actually it's older now. I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s. I was reading comic books real heavy at the time. There was a issue of Batman, and in the beginning of the story, Robin is tied to a chair in a car, and the guy driving the car is the Joker, and he's going to a Christmas parade and running over people in the parade, like taunting Robin, like, hey, go save these guys, and it's like, okay, so wait a minute. Now we have an actual person in real life that is doing something that the freaking Joker did in a comic book. Like, it just seems so crazy to me that it's gotten to that point where that kind of stuff isn't fantasy anymore. And to come into court and just start throwing all this sovereign citizen rhetoric, like I had the right to run over those people because I'm not an American citizen, I'm a American national, and America's a corporate thing. Like, shut the hell up, you idiot. And that's like the big excuse that they all always love to use is, oh, well, I didn't physically hurt anybody. Well, this guy did, but he's still using the same script. He don't care.
He doesn't care. I really don't get his end game on all that. I mean, he must know that he's not gonna walk. There's no way. I don't know exactly what his end game is. I mean, before I found out that he was that guy, before I found out that, I was thinking maybe maybe he's just using stall tactics because
like Blandino style.
Yeah, like Blandino style, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna like push the limit of the courts and hopefully they let me out on bond and I could just play this out, right? But I really don't understand his end game now. I don't understand it at all because it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop people from convicting you? I mean, you're convicted, bro. I mean, I get it. It's innocent until proven guilty. Understood. But yeah, no, you're not getting out, and I don't understand doing all this madness and even more so upsetting the people who are in charge of giving you your sentence. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
Maybe you don't want to, but then again, he did do something that is very like, unforgivable. So I mean, this is strange. Now it became, thank you for letting me know that it was that guy, but it's like, now it's strange. It's strange to me now because it's like this behavior, what are you winning, bro? Like, exactly. Like, what are you doing with this? Can't he just can't they just treat him like Hannibal Lecter or something? Can't they just give him the you know what I mean? Like just put him in one of those and adjudicate him guilty and get on with the sentencing, because I really don't understand what this is all about. I mean, I get our court system, I get the process and everything, and I respect it and everything and stuff and all that, but this is ridiculous. This is a shit show, Oh, I'm sorry, like a clown show. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I know. I got you. It's fine. I don't care. But yeah, that's exactly it. It's hard to get inside the head of an idiot, right? And understand where they're coming from, and especially when they start getting into somebody who's a mass murderer, like, oh yeah, let's understand this guy's mentality, and that's one of the things, like with the judicial process, and like you said, there is a certain method or a certain protocol that needs to be followed, right? But at the same time, like you used Hannibal Lecter as an example, that's the kind of situation where he wouldn't be sitting there in court talking to the judge. He'd be trying to bite the judge's ear off. Like you can't have a normal trial with someone like that because they're constantly, so he's doing his thing, but the words coming out of his mouth are so insane. I don't know if maybe his end game is to go for an insanity defense or something, or trying to seem like he's incompetent, and maybe he just read some nonsense on the internet and is just regurgitating it. I don't know.
I would say he kind of messed up his own defense by going pro se. Don't you think? I mean, if he's gonna say that he was insane, I mean, then you wouldn't be able to represent yourself. So I think he's kind of neutralized his own argument. At least that's the way I feel about it. I don't know. I don't know if by the eyes of, I mean, effing lawyers in the chat, so maybe he can help me out with that one. But I don't think you can claim insanity and then be pro se.
Well,
I think
again, I don't know, right? We don't know. That's the thing. We're just talking about it, but that's why it seemed to me like the idea isn't that he's going to claim insanity, but that he's going to act nuts so that the court will decide that he's incompetent to stand trial. Yeah, I think you're muted, dude.
Oh.
That's all right.
Sorry. My cat was asking for food. I thought you heard him. Uh,
No, that's cool.
but yeah, dude, it's nuts. I just don't. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna try to figure him out. But I just think that it's kind of stupid to plead insanity and then try to go pro se. It's like you're defeating your own purpose there, because it's like
Right.
if you can't, you know, if you're not in the world, how are you gonna, defend yourself? And if the judge allowed it, that means that you're pretty much in your faculties, and then you can't plead insanity. I
Well,
mean,
that's it. Yeah. You can't plead insanity if you're going pro se, like you said, because then you'd be incompetent to represent yourself, and the court would appoint you an attorney no matter what. So
yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But those, yeah, I've seen those videos. I've seen the court, and I already live streamed them. I think yesterday
they
or the
did.
day
Mhm.
before. And he did it early, like an early lunch stream, and I was watching it because I was at work, and I put it on the Bluetooth, and I've created my whole work is all fans of you guys. Just to let you know, sometimes if there's enough people early enough, we have like a kind of like a not a I don't want to call it a big screen, but we have a TV that's kind of like standing up somewhere,
Okay.
and I'll put you guys on that TV.
Nice.
Whoever I've had you on, I've had Artie, I've had everybody, and all these guys, they first of all, let me tell you something. All these guys are all green card carriers who
Okay.
want to be citizens, who are going through the process, and they have an understanding of the law, like to a point, right? And so
Right.
they're learning off of these things that I show them, and so they've learned enough from Artie, from everybody that they've seen. So when this guy came on and started doing the pro se stuff, I wish you guys would have heard their reactions, because they were like, oh, and the thing is that they speak Spanish, right? So they're like,
Yeah.
no, otro way, no, and it's so funny because it's like, I wish you guys could hear these reactions. I tell them to join YouTube and to send you guys comments, but they're so like, they're older men, and they really
Yeah.
don't, they're really not into it like that. But they love it when I put these videos on. So when I put it on with Artie, oh man, you should have heard their reactions. They were just like, oh, otra vez con estos pendejos, and they were just like, they're throwing the insults from left and right all over the. I was just cracking up. I love it. I love it.
That's great. Yeah, man, that's beautiful. See, and that's kind of the whole point, like that. None of these guys seem to get about our side. They're always like, "Oh, you guys are just trying to be lazy to make money off of other people's videos," and it's like, no, 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 no. You don't understand. Like, what you are doing isn't just like a couple of random idiots here and there. It's a movement, and it's not good. And people need to bring the more public awareness to it. So that's just spreading the message that, hey, look, these guys are out there, and what they're doing is bad. And we got to keep our eyes open and our ears open, and hopefully, like I say,
Yeah, my coworkers, and like I said, they everybody who's in that job except me, are all people who are going for their citizenship, and they're great guys. They're family men who are working hard. I'm good. I wish that I had kids, so I could like go to their kids party, because that's all they do. They have kids parties. But I have so much respect for them, because like they're so eager to learn all this information, because they're open to the idea, especially
Right.
one that lived in Venezuela. One guy that came from Venezuela, he loves the United States. He loves the freedoms here. He loves everything here. He will tell you all day that he's so happy that he made it over here, because he was over there when they were having all that conflict about the communist regime that they had right there. And then he said there was days that he couldn't eat anything else but rice, because that's all they had.
Wow.
And you couldn't go complain. You couldn't go to City Hall and be like, hey, what the hell is going on? There was no City Hall. You tried to complain, you end up in jail. And the jails right there aren't, oh, get into a cell. It's like they pack you into a cell. Good luck. We're gonna lock the door, and bye bye. People actually have to toss them food over the walls. He said, you that's the way people get fed in jail over there. They toss you food over the bars, and so you can get something to eat. And people right here, that's why it's another reason why I can't stand Deborah with her. Oh, I'm so dehydrated.
Right.
Like,
right.
go to jail in Venezuela. Go have some fun in Venezuela. See how they treat you over there.
Right. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. My son's saying good night. Good night, hon. God bless you. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah. Now, do you have anything? Because some people in here are asking, oh, who's the Forgiven Jerry? You got anything you want to plug?
Not yet, unfortunately. I had made some videos, and Cripple Cat knows because I sent her my first my first dealings with trying to create a video. But and I'm gonna tell you right now, I respect you guys as creators a lot more now, because it's not a simple thing of just like, let me just make something. It's not like that. There's a lot of editing and stuff like that I had to learn, and mostly mic problems, because I don't see. I know that there's a lot of people out there that make videos, and I don't want to make videos like everybody else. What I want to do is put my rants on these videos, but I don't want to give the frauditors any like footage, So I'm trying to find a way around that, around putting the actual video. It has nothing to do with the copyright system. It's just I'm tired of giving them views. There's plenty of people who are going to put the video out there of whatever happened, right? Mm-hmm. So I really just want to be, commentating on this stuff, because like you've seen already, they trigger me in a way that I go into rants, right? And so sometimes my rants get I've had rants where like I can get real, like, real crazy, right? I can get, and sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're serious, whatever. The point is that I get into them, and so I've taken that energy and used it to be able to put it down. But I wasn't happy with the way I was doing it, because at first I was trying to put the auditor video and then stuff like that. But I figured that by the time I get stuff out, there's enough people who have seen videos on these guys that know what's going on. So I'm not going to have to be too informative on them. But I do want to put my commentary out there. So I've kind of flexed the videos around, and when I finally finished one that I liked, the audio was terrible, and so I finally got the mic that I needed. So I'm gonna start redoing the audio on some of those videos, and I'm gonna start putting them out again. But I did have a touch of putting them out for like a couple of days, but I really didn't like them, and I figured out why creators take their time with them, because it's not a process of just putting something out there. I mean, it seems that easy, but it's not. It's much more difficult, and I have so much respect, especially for guys like Tones, guys like Blue Bacon and stuff like that. These guys actually put a lot of work and effort into what they do. It doesn't show. You would think it isn't, because it looks like they love what they're doing, but it is work, and I respect you guys a lot for it. Now I really do. I just
trying to do it yourself, yeah. And that's one of the beefs with them, is when they say like, "Oh, you guys are just trying to make money off of our hard work." You guys, half the time, they don't even edit their videos. They just film something on their phone and then upload it, and they just throw an intro and an outro on there, And we have to spend our time cutting out all the dead air and clipping all the best parts, And yeah, it's work, man. We're definitely earning whatever we get. But
yeah, definitely.
Have you seen a lot of my older videos? Because when I first started doing this, I just did like comedy sketches, just making fun of these guys. I didn't use any clips at all. It was just like, there's one where I'm pretending I'm a cop and I'm getting audited, and I'm in the middle of a shootout, and I'm telling the auditor, like, dude, you got to get out of here. There's bullets flying.
Yeah. I've seen those. Yes. And that's it. Almost. I almost want to do the same thing, but except that mine is going to be more, a little bit more informative and more like kind of like a news kind of podcast way. You know what I mean? I'm not. I do.
Well, you could use instead of showing the Frauditor video, you could have like still clips from it that
Right,
you
yeah.
use, like with a news reporter, they'll have just like the picture of the guy they're talking about or whatever. There's a lot of ways you could do that. If you want some tips, tricks, whatever, you could email me and we could talk about it offline, see if I can help you out.
Oh, most definitely. I've reached out. The Triggered Limey has helped me a lot. The Plot Hole has helped me out. I mean, and the thing is that I'm not throwing around their names because just because I like their stuff. These guys, if for anybody who knows, these guys are real good guys. They're real nice people. I mean, I can't say enough about how good they've been to me, because they really have been. I mean, not just in the manner of helping me make videos, but in my time, in my hard times and everything, they have been there. Especially Artie's Corporate Fiction. If there's anything that I want to plug right now, and anybody who hasn't been there, go to Artie's Corporate Fiction. He's a great guy. He is one of the best guys you'll ever meet. Nicest guy. I mean, I really wish that he had more of an audience and he cared more about his channel, in the sense that he did more. But it's up to him. He's the creator. He can do whatever he wants with his channel. But I absolutely love that guy. He is a very nice person. He is a very generous person. He's a good-hearted person that he's so unassuming, because that's how much he cares about other people. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He's that great of a guy. I honestly feel that way about him. And you got guys like Kick, who is a defender of people that I admire. Kick because he's willing to put his neck out there for people. He'll put himself in front of the bullet if that's what he has to do in order to protect people that need that protecting. And I absolutely I give it up to him because he'll do that. And so all these guys I have so much respect for, and they've been so good to me. So I don't have anything negative to say about them. And guys like I thank you for offering me that, and I will take you up on that offer. All of them have offered me their assistance, and I have taken as much as I could. Tones Overthinks I think has given me the most as far as like criticism and helped me with my commentating, because that he has no filter if you ask him for the truth. You guys ever want a real opinion about something? Ask Tones. He'll give you the real. He'll never hold back. He'll give you his real opinion, and I love him for that, because he's not gonna mince words. If he feels something about something, he's gonna give it to you exactly how he feels about it. And I mean, I'm gushing over these guys because, like I said, big fan of all of them, and they've all treated me like they haven't treated me like I'm some sort of like sycophant either. They've treated me like a friend. They've treated me like a person. Like you go into their Discord. I ask anybody, go into their Discord. They will not treat you like you're nothing. They will be there for you. That's what else can I say about that? But yeah, I do appreciate that, Hezekiah. I will take you up on that offer, and I will. As a matter of fact, I might even ask you about a lot of editing stuff, because that's where I'm at right now as far as editing, and that's my I think that's my next obstacle is the editing.
Yeah, it takes a well. I also did I went to film school. I actually have my degree in editing, so like I could probably give a slightly different perspective on it as well because of that experience. So yeah, but yeah, definitely, I'll be more than happy to help you out, answer any questions, help any tips or tricks or anything. Like I said, but in the meantime, I think I'm pretty much going to wrap it up there. Like I said, this was just an impromptu stream because I didn't go live this morning.
Oh, this was fun. This was fun, Hezekiah. Thank you so much for letting me come up with you, man. I'm glad I was able to show you that Tones video. I really love that, because like I don't know about you, but in my city, in my area, I've done this. I'm on this crusade where I've gone to. I already went to my social security office. I actually went today, and I talked to the security guards there about these guys. So I'm doing this now. I'm going to all my local areas and I'm letting people know. So before these guys get here, and start causing a ruckus here, hopefully I'm gonna have, you know, that type of example from that post office. Nothing but people that act like that, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I've actually done a little bit of that too, just like on my own in general. Like, oh, have you heard of these First Amendment auditor guys? Well, like in the post office and stuff, telling them to keep their eyes open. So that's good. You know, get them ready. But again, I'm gonna end it here because I am going live in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. That's gonna be bright and early for a lot of you guys, I'm sure.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's my thing. I do it every day. Like I said, the only reason I ended up doing this was because of the hurricane, because I'm in Florida right now. Because of the hurricane, I had no internet this morning. There was no power. It was a mess. So I'm like, well, I want to make up for it. So I'm going to go live tonight, do a little bit. And it was great for you to come up. Thank you for, thank me for having you. Thank you for coming. It was fun talking to you. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Had a lot of great people in the chat. Thank all you guys for coming out. And
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. And so I'm going to do my ending where I put my Elvis gnome into the camera and I have him say, oh, yay, I'm all shook